In a legendary career in music, TV, film, and live entertainment that has spanned over 50 years, Bob Ezrin is one of the most commercially successful producers. He's worked with many of the world's most contemporary artists, including Pink Floyd, Alice Cooper, U2, Peter Gabriel, Kiss, Jay-Z, Julian Lennon, Taylor Swift, Elton John, and Rod Stewart. He's responsible for some of the most successful music productions of all time, including Pink Floyd's 2-disc opus, The Wall, and the best-selling Kiss album, Destroyer. He's received numerous awards and accolades and has been inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, the Canadian Music Industry Hall of Fame, and Canada's Walk of Fame. Today I'm with the famous studio maestro in his hometown of Toronto to talk about creativity, business, and what it takes to make it. How did you get your start?
Well, I've always been in music since I was 0. In fact, my parents bought me a little record player. Do you remember those things? Little round things that go around?
I've heard of them.
Yes. Anyway, so apparently when I was 1 year old, I used to pick records, put them on the record player, and sing along. So I guess it's in my blood.
Yeah. And what do you tell people who are passionate about something but still need to earn a paycheck for work? So a lot of people say, oh, just go follow your passion.
I think that you could be passionate about a lot of different things. You could be passionate about a particular subject, about an art form, about having money, about feeding your family. So whatever your passion is, you need to follow it. Because everything that you do that's contrary to your passion is going to be painful, difficult, and will probably fail.
And do you believe in the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hour rule of practice to be really, really good at something?
You know, I always say that first you start off wanting to do something, and then you practice and practice until you can do anything you can think of, and at that point you're a master. But then when what you think of is something really special and world-changing, at that point you become an artist.
You produce some amazing albums. I mean, Kiss's Destroyer, the best-selling album, Pink Floyd, The Wall. Do you have an aha moment when you hear a hit or a new discovery? Do you know right there in that moment?
A lot of the time I can pick out something that's going to be a hit. But I also tell people that every time I've attempted to make a hit, because that was all I was focusing on, I failed. So the only times that I've had hits was when I was attempting to make something really exceptional. Most things do need help. They need marketing, they need, exposure. So they need the support of a partner, whether it's a record company or it's a management firm or it's your parents with a checkbook.
And you're quite the serial entrepreneur. You're a sound musician, music producer, TV, film, live productions, technology, digital media. Do you advise that people actually focus on one thing they're really good at or place lots of bets?
That's a really interesting question because I always caution people against being dabblers. Dabbling is a bad idea and you never get really good at anything. But I'm so restless and so fascinated by so many things that I just can't stay in one thing for great lengths of time. Like on a project by project basis, I can dig in and I'll be as microscopic as anybody, and you can't even talk to me because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. But there are those hours between walking out of the studio and getting back there the next day, so I get home and things are going on in my head. I start reading, I start researching, I get online, I start calling, and I'm on to something else until the next morning. Then I go back in and focus again. So yeah, I think it's just it's a disorder probably in my case.
And when you work with bands, obviously there's a lot of collaboration, a lot of input, but do you feel that how do you approach leadership? Do you feel that you need to take the lead on advising them which direction to go?
I tell my students at my school that power is never given, power is taken. If you're going to lead something, you walk in and present yourself as a leader.
And so how do you approach risk and failure in work? Because a lot of people starting out are really afraid to take risks or afraid to fail. How do you look at those?
I think you got to be brave. You have to be brave. Yeah, I think security is an illusion. You know, there are some people who live their entire lives trying to protect what they have, and yet the reality is none of us have anything.
Right.
We could be struck by cancer tomorrow and not know it's coming. You know, we could be hit by a car crossing the street. Everything is transitory, and nothing can be counted on. So you've just got to live your life with all of your energy and all of your heart. That's the most important thing, right? It's not just your energy, but you have to live it with your love, your whole heart, and that's the way great things happen.
How important is technology to the innovation of music today? I mean, you've probably seen dramatic changes in your court.
I think the good news is that given technology, almost anybody can do anything now. And the bad news is almost anybody can do anything right now. So, you know, there's a lot of crap being made, and it's hard to find the good stuff, but not impossible. It's still wonderful. I mean, it's just a remarkable world that we live in.
And every generation says the music of this generation sucks compared to their generation. Do you actually see that as being true, or is that just something people say?
You know, I have to say that I'm susceptible to, I'm really susceptible to popular culture, right? So I love popular culture. I love what's going on most of the time. I don't think the music of today sucks. I think the music's amazing. I think it's really cool. I think the messaging of today is way too materialistic, way too atavistic, way too violent, and way too disrespectful to humanity, to us as human beings. We disrespect ourselves. So that worries me.